Welcome back to Catching Up with Cameron. I'm your host, Cameron Mitchell, and today I'm here with gymnast Michael Artlip. So Michael, tell me, where are you from?
I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, what made you decide to do gymnastics?
So it started when I was probably about 2 or 3 years old, and I was like constantly jumping off of furniture at the house, and my mom couldn't stop it, so she just decided I might as well get a safer outlet to do so. So she put me in a gymnastics class, and I just kind of fell in love with it.
Yeah, and so when did you start actually competing?
Let's see, maybe probably about 2nd grade.
Wow, that's insane. What was your first meet like?
Honestly, I don't really remember.
You don't remember?
Long time ago, kind of a blur.
Yeah.
Remember, there were still a lot of nerves, and there are always a lot of nerves.
Yeah.
So.
What's your favorite event to compete in?
Favorite event to compete is probably floor exercise, just because it's a routine that I can usually get through without falling.
Yeah. Do you think you fall a lot?
I used to.
Really?
That's something consistency is something I've been really hammering recently, and shown good results.
Yeah. Did you develop close relationships with your coaches?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I see them pretty much every day for like 4 hours, so
wow.
You grow pretty close.
What made you decide to go to Straight? Did you look at any other schools, or were you just like Straight Jesuits the one? What was it about Straight?
I looked at a few other schools, but Straight just seemed like the best option for me. Combination of like awesome campus, academics, but also like being flexible with my like busy schedule.
Right.
So.
Was it difficult to manage though, going to it like a private school like that and also doing gymnastics?
There was a little bit of a learning curve at the beginning, but after a while you kind of get into a rhythm, and it wasn't too bad.
So what was your high school routine like? Did you have time to do extracurricular activities?
I had time for one major extracurricular. So basically after school, pretty much every day I'd do quiz bowl for about an hour and a half. That was a fun way to kind of explore some more of my interests in kind of a low stress environment.
Tell me some times in high school that you maybe felt defeated because of gymnastics.
I would say multiple times throughout my junior season.
Okay.
I kind of felt like I peaked at the very beginning of the season with 2 really good meets, and then after that I just couldn't seem to put everything together.
And what do you mean by that, you couldn't put everything together?
I would just say kind of fall after fall at every meet. Like I posted the lowest score I had in probably years at one of them, and just felt kind of awful. I was still like training hard in the gym, but just couldn't seem to do it when it mattered. And
what kind of turned that around for you?
I think probably the culmination of that season was a really disappointing performance at nationals. But turning that around, I think, was, as I mentioned earlier, like training very intensely for the qualifier, and then finally having a good meet there, and it just felt like it hadn't all been for nothing.
Very cool. Can you tell me about some of your biggest high school accomplishments with gymnastics?
So probably the one I'm most proud of is last year I qualified to my first US championships.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Normally the way you do it is you go to the Junior Olympic Nationals, which were last May.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I had a pretty bad meet, and so I missed qualifying from there. But then you have one more chance where they take another 6 people from the national qualifier competition at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. Okay. So I trained pretty intensely for that, about 36 hours a week, over 8 weeks, and ended up having a really good meet there, and was lucky enough to qualify. So
well, that's awesome.
It's a really fun, rewarding experience, yeah.
That's awesome. And you were valedictorian at Straight, correct?
I was.
Like, what was that moment like?
It was kind of surreal, like when they tell you, it's kind of like, wow.
Yeah. So you signed with Penn State. Very cool. Are you nervous about going to Pennsylvania from Texas?
Yeah, it'll be different, a lot colder. I think it'll be a big change being like that far away from my family, but I think maybe after a little bit I'll get into kind of the groove.
So, when I talked to my last gymnast, she told me that if you choose to go the college route, you're basically deciding not to go to the Olympics. Is that correct?
Not for men.
Not for men. Okay, what's different about men's?
So in women's gymnastics, they tend to peak much younger.
Okay.
So generally, like the girls on the Olympic team are going to be like 16, 17. Whereas for men, they're usually in their mid to late 20s.
Oh,
So
wow.
college for men is actually a place where you can like really develop and
Okay.
get ready to make an Olympic run.
And so would you say that that's your goal with college? You want to ultimately make an Olympic run?
Yeah, I think one step at a time is
Right.
the best way to approach it. But I definitely want to go back to championships and then vie for a spot on the national team, and then the opportunities there, I'll go for it.
Well, fantastic. So what would you say some of your goals are with gymnastics for your freshman year?
For my freshman year, I just want to compete.
So will you immediately start competing as a freshman, or do you have to like compete for a spot to compete, or how does it work?
Yeah, well, first I have to make the team. I'll be like training with the team, but they'll make cuts.
Oh, okay.
So that will usually happen in maybe November, December.
Okay.
And the season starts in January. And then per event, you kind of have to compete to make it on lineups.
Okay. What would you say you hope to gain out of your college experience?
I think the biggest thing would just be kind of lasting relationships, whether it be with like faculty or teammates. I think it's going to be a great place to sort of develop these connections.
Yeah. What advice would you have for younger kids who are starting out at gymnastics, maybe in a slump like you were? What advice do you have?
I would say just always keep pushing. Gymnastics, it has a way of kind of beating you up and pushing you down, but if you just keep working, eventually you will see results.
Yeah.
I would also say make your basics really good, because if they're not really good, it's way harder to learn them when you're older.
Really?
So
Basics like a cartwheel, round off, that sort of thing? Okay.
stuff that you're going to kind of build everything else on.
Okay. What sort of legacy do you hope to leave with the Penn State team?
I think I just want to leave one of hard work and good teamwork.
Yeah.
I just want to work to be as good as I can be, and I want to be the best teammate that I can be. So if I could just make an impression on anybody in that way, I think I would.
Well, since you graduated valedictorian, I thought it was only fair I put you on the spot with some trivia. Do you think you can handle that?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So my first question for you has to do with the year you were born, 2002. So, who served as the President of the United States for 2.5 hours while President George W. Bush underwent a medical procedure?
Bush's VP, which is Dick Cheney.
All right. I'm impressed. Okay. What movie was the most popular the year 2002?
I don't know.
Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have.
All right, true or false? In 2002, Lance Armstrong was disqualified from the 89th Tour de France as a result of streaking.
False.
What was it as a result of?
Doping.
All right, I'm impressed. Which country joined the United Nations on September 10th, 2002?
I think Switzerland joined pretty recently.
Yes, it was Switzerland. Which nation forbid the advertising of American products in 2002?
Probably like a Middle Eastern place. Let's go Iran.
Yes, that is correct. Which country won the FIFA World Cup? See your soccer knowledge.
I think Brazil wins it a lot.
Yep, Brazil. All right, now some gymnastics trivia for you. How long should it take to do a beam routine?
It's like 60 to 70 seconds, I think.
Okay, correct. What is the name associated with a triple backflip on the floor?
Liukin.
A front lever to a cross on the rings is called what?
Pinetta.
Which of the following is not one of the 6 events that the men compete on? Floor exercise, vault, parallel bars, or trampoline?
Trampoline.
A double front over the high bar to re-grasp is called what?
Gaylord.
Last question. True or false? There is a trick in high school gymnastics named the Cougar or McKinney Mount.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'll just say yeah.
But you don't know what they are?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Now I gotta look it up so I can figure out what it is. You literally got all of them except for one. I guess you do qualify to be a valedictorian. I didn't know any of these even when I was writing them down. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, that was Michael Artlip. Be sure to tune in this fall to watch him compete with Penn State. Make sure to like this video, leave some comments, and
Thank you for catching up with Cameron.
see you guys next time.